Chef Walter's Mother's Day gift, brought to you by Food City and the Maytag store in Turkey Creek.
Was not Becky Williams wonderful? We really just keep Alan around so we can see Becky sometimes, but don't you tell him I said that. Now I want to show you one last thing as we finish with that great big bowl of dough from which we made a little plate of biscuits. Because this, when I was a kid, we prayed that in the morning my mother would make extra biscuit dough because we knew that if she did, that night we'd have what to a nice little country boy like me was my favorite dessert in all the world. And we called them Stickies. And you know why we called them Stickies? Because they were sticky. I mean, we were not very imaginative. You understand, I was brought in to consult on the naming of the Monday night movie. That's just about the level of imagination I have. What I have done is put into this pan about a half cup of brown sugar. We use brown sugar if we had brown. If we just had white sugar, we use white sugar. I sprinkle that with a little cinnamon. I dab some butter around over it that I've softened. Over here, I rolled about another 2 cups worth of flour, some cooking oil and some milk, and I've kneaded that until it's firm enough that I can work it. I have spread it with soft butter. I've sprinkled it with another half cup of brown sugar, and don't stick too close to those measurements, that's just approximate. I've sifted on some more cinnamon, and now I'm going to roll that up jelly roll fashion, nice and fairly firmly. And when it's all rolled up, what I'm going to do is cut that off in maybe 1/2 inch strips that will look a lot like cinnamon rolls. And you know why they look that way? Because they are cinnamon rolls, of course. They're just made with biscuit. And we're going to put those cinnamon rolls cut side down onto that mixture of sugar and butter and cinnamon in the dish. And then we're going to do something absolutely heretical, but something absolutely necessary to make these work. And that is, after we have them in there, and place them a little far apart, because of course the biscuits rise as they bake. And before we put it in the oven, we're going to pour over this about a cup of water. And when I do that, and we probably won't get to that, but trust me, that's what I'm going to do with this. When I do that, people watching tend to go, but if you don't do that, you don't get the wonderful sticky syrup in the bottom that make them called Stickies. Now, how did we eat these babies? We ate them by spooning them out, putting a little of the syrup on the bottom, and maybe even putting a little whipped cream if it happened to be summertime and we'd made a little homemade ice cream. But that's excessive. I just don't recommend that. That probably leads to all sorts of bad consequences if you go that far. But that's all there was to this wonderful dessert that we all loved. So now what have we done so far? We made biscuits. We made a cobbler pie. We've made a chicken pot pie. And oh, by the way, I didn't tell you about this, did I? You know what that is? That is the epicenter of East Tennessee country cooking. That's peas and dumplings. Now, I know it makes no sense to take starchy peas and add starchy dumplings to them. I love it. My mother made it with milk, and you add a little butter. And you know you're going to get all these recipes. And I absolutely love that. Can make dinner on it. That's a big family-sized can of peas and 1 recipe of this dough. Now, do you know how to get the recipes? Well, of course you do. You write your chef's recipe, 6450 Paper Mill Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37919, sending a self-addressed stamped envelope, or you go to our web channel, volunteertv.com, where they will be posted just as soon as we finish talking to you. Now, I want to thank all you folks who are here. I particularly want to thank Miss Ann, who saw fit to come down with us today. We don't get her out that much anymore, but we're pleased when she's here. You know, Miss Ann and I have been married 48 years, and we think there's a good chance it's going to work out. For all of you, we appreciate your being here. And if you think we're at the stage that we're ready to eat, you're exactly right. Let's do that. And folks, we'll see you tomorrow. Look what I have. Are we good or what?